Did anybody else see this? Holy crap! Like I don't even have time to get dressed. I've just come out the shower, and this is like instant. Holy fuck! Like what? Holy crap! Sony, you have just dropped like dropped it. You like here is a pile of everything. There you go, have it all. On the photography industry. Wow, right, everyone. Check the link below. I'll give you the link to Sony.net. Their new Sony a7r, which we all know was a 36 megapixel, same sensor as what you got in the Nikon D800. They've brought out the version 2 of this camera, and holy crap. Holy. I'll get on with it instead of just going on about how many as well. Let's go here. 42.4 million pixels. As I said already, the 36 megapixels I always thought is already ridiculously large, but 42 is just mind-blowing. Yeah, Canon have brought out a 50 megapixel, something like that, a little bit more. However, Sony has got a good backstory with its stuff like its dynamic range and other things. However, okay, let's just go ridiculous megapixels already. ISO, am I reading this right? 102,000. 102,000. And oh, am I reading this next one? It's got in-camera image stabilization, also known as IBIS, whatever you want to call it. No, in-body, that'd make more sense. In-body image stabilization. IBIS, whatever you want to call it. The 5-axis steady shot. So even if you have a lens which has nothing, you've got image stabilization going on here. Then it's got 4K. Yeah, my Panasonic's got 4K. This is a full frame with 4K. Finally, it's inbuilt. We're not having to use some weird extra sensor and all that kind of stuff. The next slightly insane thing, 399 autofocus points. 399. My Nikon D2X has 11. This has got 299. And more importantly, it covers a huge area of the image, of the sensor, whatever it's called. They're saying it's 45% of the total image area. So that is big. That's one of the biggest complaints that people have about the Nikon sensors or the autofocus in the sensor, is that all the points are great, but they're all kind of stuck in the middle. There's piles and piles out in the corners, which aren't of any use. So nearly just 400 autofocus points, and it covers a massive area. Unbelievable. And you can do 4K, so it's covering the whole sensor, or you can do it in 35mm equivalent. Additionally, the shutter, normally like the highest pro cameras are rated up to 300,000 photos. Normally they're 150,000. This one is tested up to 500,000 photos. It also has electronic shutter, so that you have a total silence and no vibration. That's what you want. S-log gamma setting. Look at that dynamic range. Like everything. Focus magnifier and peaking function. Everyone just look at what this is. This is so. It's just Sony just like absolutely hit the ball out of the park with this. Okay, granted, I'm already complaining. 46 billion pixels that it's got is too many. Nobody needs that, especially in a small little camera. You need like 100 gigabyte memory cards to deal with this kind of stuff. Same with the 4K. Like only 1% of the actual purchasers of this camera will ever use that. What will be good is the in-camera image stabilization and just all the other stuff. But just What an absolute powerhouse of optical and sensor engineering going on here. Just like, even if you're not impressed by the stats, okay, there's no way to not be impressed by the stats, but if the stats aren't of any way, of any benefit to you, you've still got to kind of go, bloody hell, Sony. Good effort. Well done. I don't know of any prices about this at the moment or anything like that, but it's got headphone jacks, it's got microphone jacks, it's got absolutely everything that anyone would need. The only thing it doesn't have is a flippy turnaround screen at the back. That's the only slight bummer. Number 39 monitor doesn't say that flips out or anything like that. Okay. It flips down. I think that's gash. That's of no use whatsoever. It just becomes fiddly and just breaks. But in terms of just like how dinky, how small, how unbelievably powerful, and how fairly minimalist this is looking as well. Like if you look at what like Nikon brought out with this Nikon DF, which still had 38 buttons, dials, or switches on the actual body. This is looking really minimalist and lean, is what it's looking. So yeah, I appreciate its design. I'm astonished by its specifications. And just like Sony. Like the only like I'm really tempted to go with Sony. The only thing is their lens lineup is so confusing. Is do I get an FE mount or what's the difference between the full frame and then the full frame mirrorless and the full frame full body, and then there's the alpha sets, and then is this an alpha set? And even though I am totally into this camera or into this Sony kind of stuff, I'm still like, I have no idea. I also still find it a bit odd when you go, hey, look, we've got such a tiny body, and then if you want any sort of normal lens for it, it's a massive, giant, massive lens on the front of this dinky little camera, which doesn't quite work. So that's why I still like the Panasonic GH4. It's a small camera with the small lenses that you get on it. So I was saying it looks totally unbalanced having these mega lenses on the front of a tiny little camera. It looks a bit weird. But if they could just compress down their lenses and make it so that I could easily just go, I'll buy these lenses. It's not a confusing kind of matter. This, just like Sony, you're totally going to hump Nikon and Canon very, very soon. I very much predict Sony is up and up and up and up and up and up. And Sony and Canon, no, down. Especially when they're pumping out stuff like this. Let me know what you think. If you're impressed, let me know. Cheers, bye-bye.